Afternoon. It's another cloudy, sun's going to come out soon, wet day here in eastern North Carolina. It rained overnight. It rained a lot. And by a lot, I mean the property got a little flooded. Let's go take a look. Well, here's a little patch right here in front of my greenhouse. And yeah, just a little wet. That's underneath the potting table. Yeah, it's a wee bit wet. Well, the watermelons won't be complaining for water. And maybe this is why you put your pumpkins in a little hill. I'm standing in the rose garden, or the back of the rose garden, and this is where I've been building up with wood chips and grass clippings. And I'm going to continue to do that over the next few years probably. But you can see the floodwaters. And I don't know if you can hear, but the frogs are chirping away. They're pretty happy about this water. This is not the worst it's been, but let's go take a walk back over here. So in this corner here, as you can see, it's pretty dry, or drier. It's not in the water. This is basically the level, which is about roughly a foot-ish high. Then over here behind the rose garden. And again, all the boundary layers I'm going to raise up, build up the beds. So again, when we do get these heavy rains, then the plants that are planted in the beds won't flood out or be drowned underneath water. Once upon a time, right back here at the edge of the wood line, there was a drainage ditch. There's no longer a drainage ditch, so the water has no place to drain to. And if you can't tell, I'm about ankle deep, or a little over ankle deep in water. And all of this is primarily due to the fact that once upon a time, this was a commercial farm. So this ground was already made up primarily of silt and clay, and it was tilled over years, and it was compacted and compacted and compacted and tilled and compacted and compacted and compacted. So now we have this, which is why when I say I'm working on trying to improve the soil in the various garden beds, this is the reason why. Now I'm at the front of the rose garden, and this is the front entrance right here. And I don't know if you could tell in the camera there, mosquito in the ear, that this has standing water, which is bad. But if we look over just a bit, where I've been piling up the wood chips and the grass, if I had planted anything in there, again, this is about probably 4 inches high right now. It'll rot down and sink down, but again, I'll keep adding to it to build it up. Why do mosquitoes like my ears? That ground, or the top of that surface, is relatively dry compared to the standing water. This is the reason I keep building up these beds. I'm also in the near future, and I said this last year and I didn't really do it, but I'm going to have to do it probably this winter for sure, is drill some drainage holes. Essentially, I have a 3.5, 4 inch auger bit. I'm going to drill holes probably about maybe 6 or so in the rose garden area, maybe a few more behind it if I can, and I'll be filling them with sand and gravel. And again, that will help the water drain away faster. Again, I can't prevent the flooding or stop the flooding. It's going to happen, but at least the water will drain away faster, which will be good for the ground and the plants. Okay, so over here, I have some standing water in the orchard, because that's where I'm standing now. But if we turn over here, this apple tree is slightly raised. And that's one of the reasons why I do that, is because this way, not all of the roots are submerged in water. And as the water recedes, those roots that are closer to the surface will dry out faster, or again, not be submerged in the water. Because most plants don't like to be submerged in the water. And over time, I'll be adding compost to this ground and aerating this ground to add more organic matter to the ground so it becomes less compact and it drains faster and easier. All of that being said, there's nothing I could ever do about the compacted clay-like soil that's going to be beneath the 4 to 6 inches of soil that may be good in time. But that compacted wet soil can also be an advantage, so that in times of drought, it will be holding more moisture, and the plants that reach down to that soil will be able to draw moisture into the plant itself. So behind me over here is the veg garden, and there's the driveway. And this gap right here, in between the house and the driveway, used to get flooded out bad. And it still does. There's still some standing water here. What I did last year was I turned around and drilled a series of 4 holes here, 3 inches wide. Mosquitoes come out after the rain. Filled with sand and gravel, and the area now has drained much, much faster. So again, there's still some standing water here, but this water will be gone in the next few hours, and then life is good. Over time, I plan to do this with most of the property, just to continue improving the soil, add drainage, these drain holes in various strategic locations, and in time, hopefully, if you hit the subscribe button and hit that bell icon to be notified when I do post a new video, you'll see after a heavy rain, the ground should be much better draining, and I should have no more flooding issues. Maybe 10 or 20 years down the road. So I'll catch you on the next one. Bye-bye.